Hey everyone, Scooby-Doo here, and welcome to the review of the 1/6 scale R2-D2 Force Awakens from Hot Toys. Wanted to go ahead and get this up because this is a new figure, and I know people are debating on whether or not to purchase it, especially if they have the Sideshow, which is actually right next to it. And also, too, I went ahead and brought out our bigger Hasbro one that I picked up a few years ago. Still my favorite R2. But on to this review and a little bit of rant. As some people have come to know my reviews, is most of the time I bash Hot Toys or Sideshow, and it's not really that I'm bashing them. It's just I just like to point out the negatives because there's so many positives we already know. I mean, this R2 here is a great figure. It's freaking awesome. And this Sideshow one, well, it looked kind of cool when it came out, right? But side by side one, this one's the Hot Toy is a little bit bigger, but it's it really makes the Sideshow one pathetic. It really does. Now they both light up. They both have the same touch. But I'm going to turn this one on. The lighting on the Hot Toys one is just so much more superior. Like all the way around, like all the lights back here. And the Sideshow one is just, I mean, you can see how bright the lights are. The lights aren't that bright. Now it could be the battery too, so, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. But just overall, the sculpt, the weathering, everything is just so far superior over the Sideshow. So if you're looking to pick up an R2, I would definitely give the Hot Toys get my thumb in there, a big thumbs up, and I've definitely purchased them, even though it is I think retail like $220. And this guy here, yeah, it must have been the battery. No, back on. This one here I think retailed at $150. However, this one too came with a bunch of accessories, and this one didn't. But I don't use the accessories for the Sideshow anyways. But still, and even looking in the camera, the Sideshow one doesn't look that bad as I'm viewing through my phone right now. But in person, there's no comparing the two. The Hot Toys is just way better. It's much sturdier. It's heavier. Now this one, in its defense, is lighter as plastic because it's all plastic, and this one is a die-cast dome. But this one, though, did have like all these extra little gadgets. It popped out. This thing popped out and different stuff. This one, none of it. It's kind of static. So it's kind of like, you know, this one has a few more little gadgets to it. Came with some extra accessories. This one comes with no accessories, and you can't open up any of the doors. So I would still take this one, definitely. Just for the weathering, and it's just a really awesome figure, and I've definitely picked it up. If you already have the Sideshow and you have a space to put the Hot Toys, I definitely get it. And if you haven't got it at all, definitely get it. And definitely pick up my Hasbro. I'm going to just turn this on for just a second, just because I got them down. This thing is just so awesome. It just still makes me wonder why they can make this one at this size and they still can't make a life-size one. I mean, you can buy a life-size one. You can pay $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 for it, or spend thousands of hours and build one yourself. But why can't they just make a life-size R2? You know, they can make trash cans that are almost life-size. They can. Oh, wait a minute. They are making a life-size refrigerator R2. But then again, it's like $6,000, $7,000. So come on, doesn't everybody want an R2? Okay, so my ultimate review on the new R2 is it's great. Hot Toys did a good job on the sculpt. They did a good job on the weathering. They did a good job on the lighting. And again, I'd pick it up. Now we're going to go ahead and go to the negative, because you know I always do negatives, because I'm not just a collector where I white glove something out of the box, I put it in a glass case and then leave it alone. I like to build dioramas and have these big displays, and you know, sometimes I kind of talk to other people who are collectors and the people that aren't collectors. And you know, you have your friends that don't collect, and they don't understand it. If you say, hey, I spent $220 on that, they go, what? Are you crazy? But us as collectors, we enjoy that. Yes, it's still expensive, and yes, it hurts sometimes to spend that much. But this is our passion, and this is what we like. And sometimes, like I said, our friends or our family don't really understand why we're paying so much for basically almost a toy, but it's not, right? It's a collector item. It is. That's how I look at it. I don't sit there and play with them. I got them on display. You know, other people collect plates or other stuff. Just let me collect my Star Wars stuff and let me do my movie room. That's what I like. So you know what I mean, though, by, you know, you have people that don't quite understand it. So that's why I like building these big displays. So when they do come over, they kind of like, okay, I get it. This is really awesome. This is kind of cool. I'll admit it's cool. So this is why I get a little disappointed, and sometimes I go on these rants, because I had these grand plans for some of these figures, and then I get them, like for instance, like the Darth Vader. They came out a year and a half ago with the remote control, and that one was a big epic fail. But again, most collectors just liked it for the sculpt. They didn't care about where the switches were and that you really couldn't use it, because they just put it in a display case and left it alone. So, but for me, this is why I do these rants and these reviews and point out the negatives, at least in my opinion. So on to the negatives. One, why Hot Toys decided to do a Force Awakens R2 is beyond me. He didn't do anything in the movie. He wasn't even in the movie, really. But he's in it like right at the end. I mean, anytime you see him, he was asleep or dormant, or he wasn't turning on. He was just sitting there in the corner. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he was almost in the movie as much as Luke was, which is like right at the very end. So we're going to choose to, you know, Hot Toys could have just said, hey, you know what? We saw Sideshow. We saw what they put out. We're going to put out something better. Why it had to be Force Awakens? And then you say, well, you know, we can't give you any accessories because he didn't do anything in the movie that would cause us to put accessories in there. So that's why. So that's the first thing. They should have just made an R2 in general. And if they could have put some openings here in the top, put a 1/6 scale lightsaber in there. I mean, because the technology that they're coming up with now, you know, none of these open. Not like, for me personally, I don't care if they open, but it would have been cool to have something like a lightsaber or that antenna that came up. It would have been cool. So one, my first gripe is they made it Force Awakens and there was really no reason to do it. The second gripe, and it's not really necessarily a gripe because I've never been in China. I don't know what they use for batteries. I know here in the US, we use AAA, AA 9-volt batteries. The same thing in the UK. They have different kinds of outlets, and so I understand that. So I guess maybe in China they use those little teeny batteries. That's what they use. They don't even have AAAs in China. They don't even know what they are. But for this particular instance, they could have used AAA batteries in this R2 unit. There was enough room to do it. They just didn't do it. They last longer. These little batteries, I mean, they don't last that long, and then when they run out, you can't go like here where you can go to the 99-cent store and get a whole pack of them for $1. You can't find those little batteries everywhere. You can find them. I mean, they're not like totally hard to find, but they're not as easy as a AAA battery is. So one, the battery. And two, the remote control and the whole thing with the sound. So same thing with the Darth Vader, and that was an epic fail. They just turned around and did the same thing with this. This had such potential with the sound. And this again goes back to impressing my friends or impressing anybody or just enjoying my own collection. I wanted to have it to where if they saw the R2 and they saw it light up and they see the detail and everything was great, I wanted to be able to have like the remote and like kind of like when they're checking it out, like, come on, there you go, make some sound and they go, whoa, hey man, does that thing talk? Really? Oh my god, that thing is amazing. Okay, now I see why you collect this stuff. This remote control sucks. I think it's an infrared, and I think you have to aim it. Maybe I could be holding it this way. It doesn't really matter. It does work. Now it's not really working at all. I do have it on, right? Yeah, I do have it on. It was working earlier, so maybe again it's with the batteries. But even when it was working, like all the time, like you had to be like right in front of it. There we go. I got it to work again. You had to be right in front of it. So it was something like if you wanted to show it off to other people, like you couldn't like hold this in your pocket, or like if you're sitting down on the couch and you have your display somewhere like more than like 5 feet away, it's not going to pick it up. And so with the technology of remotes, I mean, let's get real. $220. I can go down to Walmart right now and probably get a flat screen LCD high definition television for in the $200 range. And I guarantee you that when I get a remote that would come with that TV, not only will it turn on the TV, it'll probably also, I can program it to do my cable, my DirecTV, my sound system. And I can guarantee I don't have to stand 2 feet in front of the TV in order to get the remote to work. So remote technology has come a long way. And for them to, again, some of this might be the battery, so I'm not like saying it doesn't work because it was working earlier. Come on. I mean, you can see the red light. The thing's on. It doesn't work that well, but it does work. But in most cases, it's not working out at all. So, it's not going to work from far away. It's not going to work if you have it in your pocket or somewhere else. And so, if that's the case, what's the point? What was the point of having the sound on this? I don't have to do anything with this one. Put my Hasbro one back on. Hey, R2. What's up, buddy? Hey, come on. Make this 250 and whatever like computer chip they put into this one, just put it into this one or something. Well, that's not really a gripe because I don't want to go too far with this, but more was just the sound. It's just like, all right, well, see, now I'm actually, that doesn't prove my point because that gets annoying. But my thing is, if you're going to make this like one of the focal points, because these both the Sideshow and the Art and the Hot Toys both light up, and if you know your two things is the metal dome and the fact that this makes noise and it comes with a remote, make the remote work correctly. Make it where you can set it off from other parts in the room and stuff. They just don't do it, so that kind of ticks me off. But other than that, if you're not buying it for the remote or the sound part, you're just buying it for just the lights and the detail and the figure itself, you really can't go wrong with this. It's really great. I just, you know, I can't help myself with talking about the negative stuff. And again, it's not to be negative. It's just to point out that I don't know. For me, I build displays. I like to display them a certain way. And maybe if you're watching my channel all the time, maybe you get ideas for how you want to do dioramas and stuff. And maybe you wanted to impress your friends with the talking R2. Come on, seriously. All right. Come on. Pick up. Well, this does work sometimes. I really don't even care if it does at this point. And again, that kind of hurts my argument because, again, most people that are diehard collectors are just going to put it in the display case anyways. But he does talk. He was working earlier. It might be the batteries are already given out or something. Let me do this. Okay, now you... whatever. There we go. Now he's talking a bunch of time. But again, you still have to hold it right here. So what's the point? What's the point of this cheap piece of garbage? This is just, what is that? It does make for a nice kind of display, I guess, but you get the switch here. But anyway, so there's my review. Definitely get it if you haven't gotten an R2, even if you have the Sideshow one. This is funny too. It might be the batteries, but like I can't get this thing to turn off. So I definitely have to like take off the top and turn it off manually. Again, I generally don't have this on anyways, so. But still, I like to have that option. I mean, if you're going to have the option on there, I want to be able to use it if I want to. Oh my gosh. You know what? The Hot Toys one, it really is a freaking awesome R2 when compared to the Sideshow one. Okay, so now I can't get this to go on either. All right, come on, seriously. All right, so there we go. There's my review. Sorry it went a little bit long, but yeah, go ahead and pick it up if you have a chance to pick it up for sure. Look for other videos I got coming. I got so much stuff. And I'm really not kidding. I don't know if you saw that other video where I said I was going to be doing the snap model of the slave one. I actually finished it. I'm going to do a separate video on that. But yeah, I put together a model. I got some other stuff coming up that's going to be great. Thanks for me for saying it's going to be great. But anyways, there you go. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. Again, pick up this item. It's great. Just, you know, the sound is kind of a disappointment. And it would have been nice if they would have had some kind of lightsaber or something, or some of these things opened up, because it really is such a dynamic figure that it's a shame that they didn't add some of that stuff, because then it would have just been totally blown out of the park. All right, that's it. Talk to you guys later. Look for the other videos. Like I said, I got lots of stuff coming out over the next months. Actually, months. Actually, you know what? Let's take a sneak peek. I don't know if you'll be able to see over there, but I got some new stuff for the Ghostbusters over there. I got the Devil Dogs and some other stuff. It's coming out really cool. All right, talk to you guys later.